بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. Brothers and sisters in Islam, alhamdulillah, tonight is the 9th night of Ramadan. It is a time where we reflect on many things that occurred in this blessed month of Ramadan, and we have to realize that aside from Laylatul Qadr, which many make this month be all about, that it's all about Laylatul Qadr, if you get the 27th night, you're good. No, this entire month is precious. Every night is special. Every day is an opportunity. So alhamdulillah, as we reach day 9, may Allah allow us to reach day 29, inshallah, with complete success and with all the blessings and mercy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, reaping all the benefits of this month and continuing to live by them beyond this month. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Today we are starting the second ashara of the Holy Quran. So today we'll begin from the first verse of the 11th juz, continuing from Surah Tawbah, ending a quarter way into the 12th juz, which is Surah Hud. Between the two is Surah Yunus. And today, inshallah, all three of these surahs will be part of our 5 points or 5 takeaway points. In verse number 94, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala begins tonight's recitation with this story. And this was a norm at the time of Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, but this one is a bit different. يعتذرون إليكم إذا رجعتم إليهم قل لا تعتذروا لن نؤمن لكم قد نبأنا الله من أخباركم. It was the norm that when the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ made the call to the people for war, that many were reluctant. We talked about it last night. Our religion isn't based on war. And when the call came for war, many Sahaba wished that they didn't hear it. They didn't want to go. Again, it's proving the point that we are not a religion of war. But it wasn't about war or peace. It wasn't about staying home or migrating to new land. It wasn't about being with the Prophet ﷺ or being sent out by the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. It was all about upholding the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying it. We have to do it. Tonight's recitation should focus on just that. When Allah calls on me to do something, where do I stand? So what happened was there would be a group of people that upon the arrival of the Prophet ﷺ from war would gather by his masjid and they would come to him seeking forgiveness. Hey, sorry we couldn't go with you. Tire was flat, my ATM card was not withdrawing money. You know how many excuses we have? Imagine the excuses they gave to the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. My camel wasn't ready, my sword was on loan, whatever it was. So, this verse is being revealed in Tabuk, one of the latter battles. And every single verse regarding war in this surah is in reference to Tabuk, which happened approximately 18 years or 19 years after Nubuwwah. Just remember this. So whenever a person or an Islam pulls out a verse and says, your Quran says it, ask them, when was it revealed? Which chapter is it in? What war is it in reference to? Let them paint the story. Don't let them confuse us any longer. So Allah said, don't give your excuses anymore. We don't want to hear them. We know the reality of what you're about. But there's a story here. It's a heart-touching story. There's a Sahabi. He is from Sabiqun al-Awwalun, the first, the pioneers of Islam. Ka'b ibn Malik, radiyallahu ta'ala, became blind in his life. He attended the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He attended Badr with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He attended Uhud with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He attended Khandaq with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He migrated with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This man has a resume that if you look at it, who wouldn't hire this person? He's got a great resume. But he became blind. He was old. And the call for war came, let's go for Tabuk. He said, I said to myself, I'm going, but I wasn't fully ready. And then we heard the last call and the caravans depart. So I was like, okay, let me just wash up, get ready, I'll leave just in an hour, in 2 hours. I'll leave tonight, I'll leave tomorrow, I'll leave the next day. Ultimately what happened, he never left. When the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ reached halfway towards Tabuk, he remembered Ka'b, because Ka'b ibn Malik radiallahu anhu was always by his side. مَا فَعَلَ كَعْبُ بْنُ Malik? He said, what did Ka'b ibn Malik do? Where is he? So one of the Sahabis said he got caught up with his two burdas, like these two sheets, alluding to he's wearing a long dress of pride, because he's so big and he's done so much, and he just couldn't walk with it. Like he was tripping over his own pride. One Sahabi said, how dare you say that to him? How dare you say that about him? We only know good about Ka'b ibn Malik. He's a good person. Remember, the fitna shaitan starts. اجتنبوا كثيرا من الظن. Why is it that in our Muslim community assumptions are more rife and they fly faster than facts? We need to stop spreading assumptions because we are people who love gossip. Has to stop. Happened in front of the Prophet ﷺ. The Sahabi said, how dare you say something like this? Remember, he's blind. Brothers and sisters, he's blind. The Prophet ﷺ is still asking about him. He could have said, yeah, fine, he's blind. He's okay to stay back. He said, where is Ka'b? Because it's not befitting for Ka'b ibn Malik not to come with us. Long story short, the expedition went through and they came back. The people came and gave their excuses. But there were 3 that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ did not forgive. He said, I don't want to talk to you anymore. He commanded the Sahaba not to talk to them anymore. He then commanded the community to disassociate themselves from them. He then commanded their families to leave them. You would say, how is the Prophet of Mercy, Rahmatul lil Alameen, so rough? How is he so tough? That Ka'b ibn Malik, Murara bin Rabi', Hilal bin Umayyah, 3 great Sahabis were cut off from the people. وَعَلَى الثَّلَاثَةِ الَّذِينَ خُلِّفُوا. Allah talks about them in the Quran. The 3 that were left behind. حَتَّى إِذَا ضَاقَتْ عَلَيْهِمُ الْأَرْضُ بِمَا رَحُبَتْ. That the earth became so, it strangled them. They found no place in Medina. They found no place in the streets that they were accustomed to. They found no place in their community or in the masjid or with Rasulullah or in their houses with their families. They found no place. When the Prophet Muhammad told their families to cut off from them, Ka'b ibn Malik's wife said, I would seek permission to be with him. It's not for any pleasure. It's because he's blind, just for his basic needs. They were cut off. What is this story telling us, brothers and sisters? When Allah makes a call to you, and you have every excuse in the book from the call of Allah, Allah will cut Himself off from you. You will claim you're the servants of Allah. You will claim you're the followers of the deen of Allah. You will claim that you are from the ummah of Rasulullah ﷺ, and the earth is going to be strangling you. And the earth is strangling us today. Allah has cut Himself off from us. Here is Ka'b ibn Malik. He's blind, he's old, he's a pioneer. He should retire with full honors now. No, he is being reprimanded. The Quran is commanding. The Prophet ﷺ is enforcing those commands that everyone left them. We want to be with the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ on the Day of Judgment. What are we doing to be with his deen today? We want to be with the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ tomorrow. What are we doing to be with his deen today? Ask yourself this question. This is a question I'm posing to myself, and I need you to pose to yourself. It's not that easy. We're making it sound so easy. I'm a Muslim, I'm going to go to paradise. We are cut off like these three were cut off because they failed to join one expedition with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then after over 50-something days, Allah revealed their forgiveness. After 52 days, I believe. They were depressed. They were lost. They were questioning everything. But you know one thing they never did, brothers and sisters? They never gave up on Allah. Today, if we don't create a foundation of who Allah is, the smallest problem will make us disconnect from Allah. And that is why people are leaving Islam. That is why the next generation is abandoning this religion. Because one thing we failed to do, we did not fail to build our identity in the world. We did not fail to raise the walls and build the structures of our faith. We did not fail to erect the institutions that would teach our faith. What we did fail to do, however, is to create the foundation of faith in every faithful person. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then forgave them. And remember, it was because of one slip. It was because of one disconnect, one abandonment of one expedition. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in verse number 101. وَالسَّابِقُونَ الْأَوَّلُونَ مِنَ الْمُهَاجِرِينَ وَالْأَنصَارِ وَالَّذِينَ اتَّبَعُوهُمْ بِإِحْسَانٍ رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُمْ وَرَضُوا عَنْهُ. You know, when we were young and we'd hear that in the khutbah, because most of the time growing up the khutbah of the Jumu'ah was Arabic, and in the second Arabic khutbah was وَخَيْرُ الْقُرُونِ قَرْنِي ثُمَّ الَّذِينَ يَلُونَهُمْ ثُمَّ الَّذِينَ يَلُونَهُمْ. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ's words that the best of time is my time, then the era that comes after it, and the era that comes after that. So one day we asked our teacher, how fair is it that the best of ages passed us and we are so far from the best of eras? And he gave a very great explanation that also mimics this verse. That those who are with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as-sabiqun al-awwalun, the first and the foremost, from the Muhajirin Ansar. And then he said, Allah said what? وَالَّذِينَ اتَّبَعُوهُمْ بِإِحْسَانٍ. Those who follow them in like. An example. We may be 1400 years away from this great era. But if we live as if we were living in that great era, we are following and abiding and trying to make our path in our world through what the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ made his path with. On the day of judgment, you will be with Sabiqun al-Awwalun. Say inshallah. And if someone was living at the time of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, but he discarded, he abandoned, he or she rejected everything the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ did, say, propagate, inform them of, like Abu Jahl, they are not from Khairul Qurun. They'll be thrown way out. وَالَّذِينَ اتَّبَعُوهُمْ بِإِحْسَانٍ. We are not from Sabiqun al-Awwalun, the first and the foremost. We're not from the Muhajirin or the Ansar, the ones who migrated and the ones who assisted. But we shall be, inshallah, from وَالَّذِينَ اتَّبَعُوهُمْ بِإِحْسَانٍ. Those who follow in like, in kind of what they did. رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُمْ وَرَضُوا عَنْهُ. Allah is pleased. Pleased. Not He is going to be be pleased, or He will be pleased. He is pleased with them because they are pleased with Allah. If you want Allah's certification of His pleasure, you need to do one thing. You need to do one thing. You need to be pleased with Allah first. If you're pleased with Allah first, that means your entire life, your every breath, your every move is towards the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, who will understand this? Who can comprehend this? Well, very few, unfortunately. Very few will realize that this relationship of being from the best of eras to being with the best of people, to gaining the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, isn't a fantasy or a fairy tale. You know, sometimes people can play with your emotions and tell you that they're going to do something for you. You want to complete a transaction. You want a deal for your company. So someone visits you periodically and goes, hey, you know what? We're going to seal the deal very soon. Don't worry, we're going to do it. So now you have high hopes. You know, my company may survive if this signature is on that paper. And now you're waiting. Days pass, weeks pass, months pass. And you're struggling to keep yourself afloat. And they come back and say, yeah, I'm going to put that pen to paper tomorrow. Just don't worry. We're good. And you're waiting again. Another weeks go, months go. And ultimately, guess what? Because you were hopeful that you would sign off with this person and that person would sign the deal with you, that you shunned everyone else only to find that you lost what you thought would happen and you lost all the other potential deals. Is everyone with me on this? Allah is not flirting with us. Allah has already made a deal with you. Why are you so insecure? Why are the Muslims so insecure today? إِنَّ اللَّهَ اشْتَرَى مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ أَنفُسَهُمْ وَأَمْوَالَهُمْ بِأَنَّ لَهُمُ الْجَنَّةِ. Allah is saying in verse number 111, He's already bought, He has purchased, it's done, the signature is on the paper, the seal has been submitted on that paper. Allah has bought you, Allah has bought your life, Allah has bought your property so you can have Jannah. Why are you still hesitant, O Muslim? Why are we so hesitant? What will happen to my life? What will happen to my family? What will happen to my property? Your property is no longer yours. Your family was never yours. And your life belonged to Allah before you could ever think of what life was. Allah is saying, I've bought it from the believers. If the believers can understand that this transaction is done, it's in the books. Wake up, Muslims. If Allah has bought it from me, I should be saying with happiness. I think it was YouTube that was bought out by Google. Yes. They walked away with a lot of money. It's like, hey, we started this video stuff and guess what? Google wanted it. They liked it. They gave us a hefty check. We're having a heaven on earth now. We're good. We're gone. It was a concept. It was an effort. It was recognized. They sold it and off they went. Allah is telling you, I've already bought it from you before you even made it yours. Why are you so hesitant? So with this, we finish Surah Tawbah. You remember Ka'ab ibn Malik, the blind companion, who was reprimanded in the Quran by the Prophet Muhammad for missing one expedition. And today we are missing Allah's command and we're asking, where is Allah? Allah is asking, where are you? Stop asking, where is Allah? Ask, where are you? The question that came in the Quran, مَسَّتْهُمُ الْبَأْسَاءُ وَالضَّرَّاءُ وَزُلْزِلُوا حَتَّى يَقُولَ الرَّسُولُ وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مَعَهُ مَتَى نَصْرُ اللَّهِ. When the prophets and the believers were stern and steadfast and gung-ho for what they had to do, and when they were continuously afflicted by problems, they asked, and where is Allah's help? When will it come? We are nowhere with Allah. We have no authority to say, where is Allah? In Surah Yunus, verse number 57, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds us, قَدْ جَاءَتْكُمْ مَوْعِظَةٌ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ وَشِفَاءٌ لِمَا فِي الصُّدُورِ. What you have in front of you, my fellow Muslims, the Holy Quran, it is an advice, it is a guide from your Lord, and is shifa for what's in the heart. Tonight, last night, the last 8 nights, the next 20-something nights, inshallah, we are here to gain healing and shifa, direction and light from the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Remember this. This is not just the Quran. This is everything and more that you could ever ask for. And last but not least, in Surah Hud, in verse number 6, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala states in the first verse of the 12th juz, وَمَا مِن دَابَّةٍ فِي الْأَرْضِ إِلَّا عَلَى اللَّهِ رِزْقُهَا. Remember one thing, brothers and sisters. Hassan Basri rahimahullah said, when I came to realize that my sustenance is in the hands of Allah, one is that you know it, one is that you believe it. One is that you know it, one is that you believe it. Sometimes Allah puts you in a situation where you can take what you know and make it what you believe. Whatever we're doing, alhamdulillah, whatever jobs we're doing, whatever companies we're serving, whatever companies we're founding, or whatever we're doing, alhamdulillah. But remember, sustenance, your food, your air, your water, your clothing, your basic needs and necessities is something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has taken full responsibility of. Not just the human or the jinn, but for everything that moves on this earth, Allah has taken that responsibility. So number one, don't confuse your desires with your needs. Because your desires are what you're going to leave behind, your needs are what you're going to send forward. And number two, remember, the smart person is the one who lives content with their needs and makes their desires something to fulfill tomorrow. May Allah allow us to fulfill our desires tomorrow. May Allah allow us to focus on our needs today, to gain shifa in light from this Holy Quran, to acknowledge how much we need Allah, for Allah has already purchased us in our wealth, in our belongings. May Allah allow us to gain His pleasure through this transaction. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله